Hi everyone, Lexi here. That right there behind me is Toro, one of my cats. I just wanted to thank you for clicking and watching my video. Don't mind if I look to my left or my right. I have some notes written down because this is my first vlog video. I wanted to make sure that I got things right. For starters, I am still planning on making my documentary even though my Kickstarter didn't take off. Because my Kickstarter didn't take off, things might be a little more difficult or take a little bit longer, but I'm not going to give up hope. And yes, that is a frozen blanket hanging on the window. Even though it's raining today, it's unusually bright. And even with the curtains closed, I still wasn't blocking enough light. I looked like a ghost. Pasty white as it is, I don't need to add to that. Okay, so going back to the mention of the documentary. Over the next year, I'm going to be chronicling my transformation from a frumpy, little, overweight, unhappy caterpillar to a beautiful, competent butterfly. And the reason I'm doing this, did I mention I'm also going to be making a vlog, weekly updates, and say I do a food haul, I'll probably put that up on YouTube as well. But the reason I'm making this documentary is because I feel like there's a lot of documentaries out there that focus on one aspect of change, whether it be weightlifting or diet or weight loss. And because of that, I feel like the follow-throughs are not substantial. You can go back and watch, say, My 600-Pound Life, for example. On My 600-Pound Life, they do great. They lose all this weight, but then you watch the follow-ups 2 and 3 years later and they've gained half of the weight back. They're completely miserable. And that's because when they were transforming, and though this is just my personal belief, but this is because they've only focused on losing weight. And I believe that in order to make a total transformation and to become the best version of yourself, you have to transform not just your body, but your mind and your soul. So talking about me a little bit and the before, because this is my first video, I feel like it's important to have perspective. For starters, I am 26 years old. I weigh 265-ish pounds. I'm not going to be chronicling so much my weight as I'm going to be focused on trimming down my fat and gaining more strength. I mean, of course, I will take measurements when I see a huge change, but that's not my core focus. Some things that I do now on a Saturday or a Sunday, if I don't have to work, I'm going to be sleeping in not terribly late, but till like 11. Then I'll get up, skip breakfast. I'll play video games, which are fantastic, and I'm not saying I'm going to get rid of those, but I will not get dressed. I'll just kind of lounge around the house, which having a lazy day is okay every once in a while, but that's my everyday when I'm not working or in school. Part of being lazy is I'll eat a lot of prepackaged or pre-prepared foods because it's just easy and I'm a lazy butthead. If I do have to get up early for work, I don't eat breakfast because I just don't. And that's horrible according to the nutritionists and other people that I've been talking to, because feeding your metabolism early in the morning gets it revving and going, and instead of packing all your food into one section of the day for maybe like 5 hours, because I usually only ate from, say, 12 noon until dinner time, it's so much work for your body to process all that food, and that's just not good. Now, after dinner, I'd stop eating, I wouldn't snack, but then say I had homework to do or I'm up late watching a movie, I would just mindlessly eat. And popcorn is okay if you don't have extra butter, but I've been one to eat popcorn and M&Ms and Twizzlers and a bunch of stuff while I'm just kind of sitting there and I don't realize what I'm putting in my body. Some other habits that I have now that are not good. I don't really exercise. Before I started working on this transformation project, the only work that I got was lifting patients at work. I'm not going to tell you too much about what I do because I don't want to get in trouble, but I am an EMT, and so I mean I'm used to lifting people who are 300 and 400 pounds, which also is another reason I wanted to make this documentary and chronicle my progress, is because I see my future so often in these people that I take care of, and it terrifies the crap out of me. I just don't want to get to that point. So anyway, yeah, I don't exercise that often. I don't willingly go to the gym. And before I was making excuses saying that, the gym costs too much, there's not enough time, it's raining outside, it's cold outside, it's too hot outside, blah, blah, blah. So far, the not eating breakfast thing, the mindlessly snacking, and the not exercising. Those are kind of physical things that I don't do. But as far as transforming my mind, I don't like change. Change has never signified a fabulous thing in my life. And as an example, I'm not making excuses. I do have a fabulous life, but I grew up in a broken home. So change always signified something scary and unknown and something I didn't want to do because I just didn't want anything bad to happen. Um, Also, transforming my mind. Like I said, I'm an EMT, and even though I haven't been an EMT for that long, only about 4.5 years, I've seen some things and heard some things and had to have done some things that have really affected the way that I think. And I often, again, with the change, things can happen so quickly in the back of an ambulance where you can have a perfectly fine child to all of a sudden you have this lifeless body in your arms, and I have trouble processing that. And I'm not saying I'm not cut out for a civil service job, but I want to work on my mind in the sense that I can go home at the end of the day and leave this at work. Now, I don't come home and drink buttloads of alcohol, and I don't do drugs or take pills, but I often have very terrifying, borderline PTSD dreams about the instances at work that are really traumatic, and I want to be able to not have to deal with that. Now, I realize it's part of the job and it happens sometimes, but it happens so much so that it stresses me out and affects more than just my mind sometimes. Again, the mindless eating. Maybe if I eat these Cheetos or maybe if I eat these M&Ms, it'll negate the fact that this little old lady died, and that's not the truth. So I guess I want to find a way without seeking a doctor or pills or the conventional methods. I want to find a way to heal my mind. And also, I want to heal my soul. Part of this total transformation, transforming my mind, my body, and my soul, I used to go to church all the time. I was confirmed Catholic on my own choosing when I was 17, and I love it. But since my grandfather passed away, I don't want to go to church anymore because it's almost as if I'm scared. And I'm not saying that I don't believe, but it's very difficult for me to go to church because going to church with my grandfather was our thing. And I just don't have anybody to go with anymore, per se. And I'm kind of okay with that because I'm grateful for that part of my life, but I need a way to worship still. I also have Native American heritage, and I'm looking more into meditation and that part of my life, trying to bring that back. Because when I was little, I went to powwows all the time. I used sage, I had quiet time, I used to look at the stars, which sounds silly, but in the Native American heritage, that was my way of worshiping and becoming one with Mother Earth. So I've lost touch with that as I grew older. And then, of course, when I was confirmed Catholic, I let go of that part of my life almost completely. I mean, it was still there, but I didn't pay attention to it as much. And because I grew up in a broken home, the times when I was exploring my Native American heritage, I felt more at peace and at least a little more safe. So I'm going to try to focus on that part of my life again. Sorry, I'm so itchy. I have corgis. Sidetrack moment for a second. We have corgis, and we just gave them a huge grooming session yesterday. We gave them tubs, we combed them out, cut their hair, and it's just everywhere. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, I have 2 dogs, Een and Haku, and 2 cats, Toro and Delilah. Anyway, so those are some things that I hope to work on. So as far as transforming my diet habits, even though I've only been going for about a week, I am doing great as far as making sure that I eat breakfast every morning. And I don't put the effort into chewing, but I've been doing shakes with protein and vitamins in them. I have this really great shake product, which I'm not going to talk about the brand name here because I'm not trying to sell anything. But this coffee shake that if I mix with the right amount of the vitamins and I add some ice to it, it kind of tastes like a McDonald's frap, which is awesome because it's like 75% less calories and 100% more vitamins. When I'm snacking, I don't, even in this last week, I've noticed a huge change. I'm more conscious about where I snack. Before, like I said, I used to eat prepackaged crap food and I used to go to the cabinet. And now I find myself, when I'm hungry, for going for a snack in the fridge first. I've been eating a lot more grapes. I've been eating a lot more strawberries. I've been eating cheese, which, cheese, ew, no, it has a lot of fat and calories. There are certain cheeses that are good, and everything in moderation. Um, I'm still having a horrible time drinking more water. I think water is disgusting, and I know that's horrible. I just can't, it's too plain for me. Aside from being Native American, I'm Italian, and I'm all about flavor, and to me, water is just like, blech. I've tried putting lime in it and lemon. So far, so good, but um, I usually have a shake for lunch too, because I am busy a lot. It's a way for me to get the nutrients in that I need. And talking to my nutritionist, she said that it's okay to have a shake at breakfast, have a shake at lunch, snack on these fruits and vegetables, and then at dinner, eat as much as I can. And when I first got this plan given to me about 3 weeks ago, I was super, super excited. Just one second, checking on my notes. I was super excited because my nutritionist was like, yeah, eat as much as you can at dinner time. And I was like, yeah, food. And then the first night, I almost threw up because I just ate so much food. And I noticed the amount that I was eating was significantly less. Say, for instance, my typical night before, I would have chicken nuggets, rice, and green beans. And I would fill up a whole dinner plate. That would be about that big. Standard dinner plate. A quarter of it would be chicken nuggets, a quarter of it would be green beans, and then half of it would be rice. Totally out of proportion. And I would usually have 2 of those. And I'm not big on sauce. I've never been a big sauce or salad dressing type of person, so that's good. But like the rice would have so much butter and so much sodium, and now I'm eating less portions and I'm not going back for seconds, so far so good. Let me just check my notes really quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you for stopping by. My goal is to have a new video every week, and like I said, and also if I do a food haul or I get new supplements in, I'll try to be sharing that. But yeah, thank you so much. Oops. Bye.